Hello everyone. My name's Seth. I work at the Python Software Foundation as a security developer in residence. But also before that, I was a maintainer of a really large amount of small and medium-sized open source projects about web and security. So I'm here to talk to you today about some of the softer sides of open source security work and how breaking an assumption about open source security work can build a more sustainable and secure ecosystem. So this asterisk is just a reminder that I only have 15 minutes, and so I can't get too far into the weeds. This talk mentions new ways that things can be done, and that isn't meant as a criticism of the ways things have been done before. Open source software is many things. There can be many approaches to securing open source software too. To understand why security is special for open source, we have to take a look at why open source is an amazing thing. For many components of open source, users that have the time, the desire, and the expertise are able to contribute meaningfully to projects. If you're a maintainer of an open source project, this is awesome. Users and contributors can work on the areas that they are interested in, like triaging bug reports, or engaging with the community, or writing some great docs. For smaller open source projects, this is especially important. There's only one or a few maintainers, and they can't do it all on their own sustainably. But not for security, right? Security is special. Only a select few are supposed to be able to handle the vulnerability reports, configure the repository and the package manager settings, and secure the release process. This tight association between security work and maintainers is what I'd like to try to pull apart today. Maintainers, especially for smaller projects, are almost always experts in the domain of the project, not necessarily in security. But the expectations of open source projects means that maintainers feel compelled to do this work to keep their project and their users safe. And those expectations for security today, that the work is done by few rather than many, combined with the secretive nature of security work, means that maintainers often feel isolated. Maintainers don't see how other projects are triaging vulnerabilities, and they can't learn from each other. They can't compare notes on what they are seeing and whether they are doing the right thing. Isolation in security work breeds a culture of fear. Fear of doing the wrong thing and making your users unsafe due to your own mistakes. This private conversation was published with permission from Marcelo, by the way. He's the maintainer of Starlet, which is a very popular Python library that powers FastAPI. He was seeing security reports that seemed convincing, but they were also really confusing. He asked for my help, and together we determined that the reports were generated with an LLM, and they were meaningless. I later published an article about slop security reports, and other projects started saying that they were seeing this too. Projects including curl, Python, Django, many others. But none of us would have known what the others were seeing without sharing this information publicly, right? Smaller projects are shaped by their tools, not the other way around. Small projects don't have the time and the resources to make a square peg fit into a circular hole when it comes to any type of tooling, including security. They don't have the time to create bots and wrappers and bend these tools to work for them like many other larger open source projects are able to do. This means that whatever is available or is the default experience is probably what they work with. And often our tools encode the assumption that only maintainers do security work. So of the top 10,000 open source packages with a GitHub repository associated with them, this is according to the ecosystems dataset from Andrew Nesbitt, 35% of those are owned by a GitHub user, not a GitHub organization. So this fact has huge implications for what features are available to those projects and who is able to do security work at all. Security tools and vulnerability reports often introduce an asymmetry by creating work to do without necessarily resolving the issues that get identified. Fixing security issues while weighing user expectations, performance, and backwards compatibility is a really, really tough job. This is the reason why maintainers are often hesitant to adopt security scanners and tools, because adoption is easy, but being on the hook to triage the findings forever is really, really hard. If a bunch of your limited time with a project is spent doing work that isn't aligned with your interests in the project, this can lead to burnout, which only makes the problem worse. The image that you're seeing here is actually from the changelog of a different libxml parsing library, libexpat, if you're wondering. These slides are more than a few weeks old. So it states that the project is understaffed and that without funding, it needs help, basically, responding to findings from fuzzing the project within the standard 90-day grace period. So what can we all do to make security work less special and more like other types of open source contribution? So I propose a new model for open source security contributions, where security work is completed by trusted individuals that aren't necessarily the maintainers on behalf of open source projects. This model would break the assumption that maintainers are the only ones that can do security work, especially for smaller projects. These security contributors could be maintainers or contributors to other open source projects that just happen to know about security and are willing to help. They could be foundations offering up resources to their ecosystems, or they could be engineers at companies helping their dependency graph be more secure. So even if you're not planning on contributing to security work directly to an open source project, I think there's reframing, re-engineering, and rethinking work that we can all do to make this model more successful. Now, I can almost hear what you are all thinking. What about XZ? Who was thinking that? Any hands? Yeah, there's some thinking. So what about XZ? XZ often comes up during conversations involving trust in contributors to open source projects. But I'm not convinced it's the showstopper it's often portrayed as. The technologies to discover the backdoor trigger of XZ already exist, but had not yet been adopted by the project, such as reproducible builds, build provenance, capability analysis, or using the canonical URL to download source code. Malicious contributors have always been a problem for open source, and the solution can't be that we just stop trusting each other or accepting help from our community. We lose something bigger than XZUtil's backdoor if we let this incident define how open source security works going forward. We have to be able to build trust amongst contributors, and the projects and security work can't all fall on maintainers. If we want open source sustainability, then we cannot let XZUtils define open source security. So what can we do to nurture the more sustainable model of open source security contributions? We can all use our voices and experiences to build a more positive and healthy security culture and overcome the isolation that's inherent to security work. Sharing and encouraging the sharing of experiences shows others that they are not the only ones that are going through this and the only ones that think this is difficult, because it is. Seeing others share experiences shows that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be perfect. Instead, the focus should always be on improving. If you're a public contributor to open source security, making yourself visible and approachable is a great way to begin building trust in the communities that you participate in. Speaking of OpenSSF Community Day, conferences and in-person meetups are excellent venues for promoting positive security culture and building trust amongst a community. I'm pretty sure that anyone in this room could run an open space, a workshop, or a session successfully about a specific aspect of open source security that would benefit maintainers and projects. There is something about being in person that really lets people be vulnerable and talk honestly about what they are experiencing and their problems, which sometimes that's exactly what we need to hear as security folks. When I'm at conferences, I also like to offer up one-on-one time with maintainers to discuss security issues or help them adopt new security features, even side-by-side laptop. Let's click buttons together. TLS and public key infrastructure scale trust of the internet and the web. We need more technologies that scale trust in open source contributions. We should continue contributing to and adopting technologies that enable trust for open source projects. This is especially meaningful when the technology is added to existing tooling like package managers and build tools. Technologies, like I said before, build reproducibility, build provenance, capability analysis. They can all minimize the risk from adding more privileged contributions to projects. We also need platforms and tools to update their underlying assumptions about who does security work for projects to support this new open source contribution model. So separating maintenance responsibilities and security work is beneficial for users wanting to help projects too. If we assume that securing and maintaining are linked, then it becomes more difficult a task to be able to offer help to open source projects. Some projects do not have the governance in place to transition from a one to many maintainer situation. Some maintainers want to continue owning the project roadmap and vision from an engineering perspective, but are happy to receive help with security. Getting your manager on board with you maintaining a project is a really difficult and amorphous ask compared to a much more tightly defined and scoped, I want to do security work for this open source project that's a dependency that our team uses. Open source program offices could use this model to concretely show how they are benefiting their whole open source supply chain and not only the larger projects that are able to receive and process grant funding. So I don't think that this change happens overnight, but we need to think about where we might go. From my experience working in open source, security work is not the special sauce. It's always trust. So whether you're an open source user, a contributor to OpenSSF or other security working groups, or a developer of tools for open source projects, I hope that I've inspired you that we need to think beyond the current models of how security work is done for open source projects to achieve sustainable open source security. Thank you for listening. Take care of each other.